Hi, ladies and gentlemen, special listeners and viewers of Teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige channel. Today I have brought to you the novel analysis called Petals of Blood by Ngugi wa Thiong'o. Petals of Blood was written in the year of 1977 after independence of Kenya. And the main setting is Kenya. This novel, set in the aftermath of Kenya independence, revealed the Kenya author Ngugi wa Thiong'o novel, as I said, Petals of Blood, follows school teachers Munira and Karega, and Bamed Wanja and her boss Abdullah as they cope with the rapid modernization of their rural village, Ilimogo. The novel examines the effect of Mau Mau rebellion and the legacy of colonialism, while criticizing the Kenya government for reproducing the inequality of the colonial regime. The title is taken from The Swamp, a poem by Derek Walcott. The novel begins with a grace at its end. Three notable Kenyans, a teacher and two successful businessmen, have died in a fire. Inspector Godfrey, who believes that the police force is the maker of modern Kenya, investigates. His suspicion falls on the school teacher Munira. From here, the novel moves back to the beginning of the story. School teacher Munira arrives in the pastoral village of Ilimogo to take up a position at the village school. Many teachers from the city have come and gone in Ilimogo, and the villagers assume that Munira won't last. His new neighbors treat him with suspicion, and few children come to his classes. However, Munira befriends the owner of a local bar, Abdullah, a hero of the Mau Mau rebellion, who helps Munira to settle in the village. Munira also befriends Joseph, a young boy whom Abdullah has adopted. Eventually, Munira is accepted as one of Ilimogo's own. Another refuge from the city arrives, Wanja, the granddaughter of a respected Ilimogo elder. She begins working at Abdullah's bar, helping him to expand the business. Soon, Munira finds himself falling in love with her. Munira and Wanja have a brief relationship, but Munira is married, and when Wanja discovers this, she is bitterly disappointed. She leaves the village for a time. When she returns, she breaks off the affair. A former colleague of Munira's Karega arrives in Ilimogo to question Munira about events at the school where both used to work. Karega ends up taking a position at the school. That year, the village suffers a long dry summer and a poor harvest. Karega rallies the villagers and leads them to Nairobi to ask their member of parliament for help. It is a long journey. On the way, Joseph grows very ill. As soon as the villagers arrive in Nairobi, they try to get help for Joseph. A minister turns them away, assuming they are beggars. Finally, they are admitted to the house of a rich man, only to be rounded up and imprisoned in the building. They are subjected to questioning by the house's owner, Kimeria, and an unscrupulous businessman who explained to the villagers that he and the MP are allies. Later, he blackmails and leaves Wanja. The villagers go to meet their MP, Ndali Wariela. Anyway, they find that he's an empty demagogue with no interest in their plight. However, a Nairobi lawyer takes an interest in their cases, advancing it through the courts and attracting national press attention. As a result, journalists and the child wakes pour into Ilimogo. When the rain finally comes, the villagers celebrate with ritual dances. A villager named Nyakinyua blows a powerful traditional drink made from the sageta plant. All the villagers partake of the drink under its influence. Kalega confesses to Munila that he had an affair with Munila's older sister, Mukami. Munila and Mukami's father forced her to leave Kalega due to Kalega's brother's involvement in the Mau Mau rebellion. This was a leading reason for Mukami's success. A plane crashes in the village, miraculously killing no one but Abdullah's donkey. Many people come to see the wreckage, and one suggests they capitalized on this tourism by selling the Sageda drink in Abdullah's bar. The drink became a notorious attraction of the village, and the tourists begin visiting just to try it. Soon one just started a brewel making the drink. Kalega and Wanja start seeing one another, seizing with Jila's Munila schemes to have Kalega fired from the school. Kalega is forced to leave Irimoku. The government begins building a new road, the Trans-Africa Road, right through the village. Workers arrive and the village rapidly expands. Soon it is a town, New Irimoku. The farmers of the old village are advised to fence their lands and mortgage them so they can prove they own them. Banks offer them loans against their harvests to pay for this. When Nyakinyua dies, the bank moves to seize her land. So Wanja sells her brewel in order to buy Nyakinyua's land. She opens a brothel catering to the new allies and is eventually forced to work as a prostitute herself. Kalega returns telling Wanja that after his departure, he collapsed into alcoholism before finding a job in a factory, from which he has been fired. Though they still love each other, they cannot agree about how to live in the new Kenya, and Kalega lives again. Munila tries to rekindle their relationship, but Wanja simply asks him to pay. He does so, and they have sex. Wanja comes up with a plan to rid herself of the men who have taken advantages of her. She invites them all to the brothel, including Kalega and Kimelia. Her plan is to present Abdullah to them as her chosen partner. However, Munila sees Kalega alive and then leave again. In a fit of jealousy, he sets fire to the brothel. The other man dies while Wanja is hospitalized. Inspector Godfrey changes Munila with arson, and Munila is imprisoned. That is the end of the novel analysis, the short summary of the novel Petals of the Blood by Ngugi wa Thiong'o. This novel, Petals of Blood, it is a symbolic title because we know the petals is the part of the flowers, petals of the blood. That's why we see the blood leads out from the house of the brothel of Wanja. We see the four prominent leaders. There are two classes here. We see there is the classes who support the Ndario Ariela MP, and the other the classes who struggle against the issue of corruption. That's why Munila decided to ban and kill those who are against it with changes. And also the setting, as I said, the main setting is Nairobi, Kenya, and the style or technique employed by Ngugi wa Thiong'o is the use of narration. He narrates the story of four prominent leaders at all two classes. The class who supports the Ndario MP, and the other class from the lower class who struggle against the issue of corruption and the bad leadership. And also apart from the setting, the style employed, also you should know the characters, the main characters, or the major characters, the main characters in this novel. We're talking about the four prominent, Munira, Karega, Wanja, and Abdura. And the other side is Kimelia. And the other class is the class of Ndario Ariela and the Kimelia, and the other characters. And also, apart from the characters, you should know the language used employed by Ngugi wa Thiong'o. The language itself, the language is very simple, but Ngugi wa Thiong'o used different figures of speech. Number one is symbolism. The word petals is a symbol. Is a symbol stand to represent the prominent leaders or prominent peoples who struggle against something or fight for something. And another symbolism is the word blood symbolizes sacrifice. The word blood stands to and another symbol is the symbol of donkeys. Abdullah's donkeys symbolize poverty. Then also Ngugi wa Thiong'o employed the use of imagery. The novel is full of imagery. We see Ngugi wa Thiong'o create a mental picture to the readers. When you read this novel, Petals of Blood, you see some pictures or the images. Apart from the symbolism and imagery, also we see the similes, metaphors, and other figures of speech. And another part of the element of form is point of view. And Ngugi uses the third person point of view to narrate his stories. Example, the pronoun he, she, and they. Apart from the main themes of this novel is all about the issue of struggle for freedom, struggle for independence. And also another theme is the corruption. Example, the MP Ndeli Waliela is a corrupt leader. And also the issue of betrayal, how the Africans betray themselves. And also the issue of hypocrisy. Example, the Africans hypocrite their fellow Africans. And another issue of love, how people suffering this love affair. Example, more than 4 characters struggle for one girl who is Wanja. And another the issue of prostitution, example Wanja, and the other girl is from Nairobi. Another themes, the themes of death, you see the death. Apart from themes, also we get the conflict from this novel. Example, the political conflict. We see the lower class struggle for independence. So there's a political conflict between the government and the citizen or the lower class. And also the social conflict we see the societies. Example, the characters Munila, Kalega, Abdullah, they get conflict because of love. And another conflict is intrapersonal conflict. There are some characters and also there is interpersonal conflict, the conflict between person and another person. Example, Munila and Wanja, Munila and Abdullah and Ndeli Waliela and the society, and so on. Apart from conflict, you also should know the role and the position of women. Women portrayed as the prostitute, example Wanja, and other girls. And also women portrayed as the patriotic or patriotic, and also revolutionist, example Wanja, struggle against the bad leadership. And also women portrayed as the truth for leisure, example Wanja. Apart from the role and position, also you should know the messages. We learned many messages from this novel, Petals of Blood. We should struggle against corruption. We should struggle against the issue of prostitution. Women or girls should engage in other activities so as to get money and to maintain their status in the society. And also leadership should help their citizens so as to solve the different problems which are occupied in the society. Apart from the message, also there's the relevance. This novel is still relevant in our society. The issue of corruption, there are some leaders in our countries or the other part of the world take the bribes to the rich people or to the lower class so as to gain something. And also the issue of love. There are some girls or women especially the young people, are suffering with love. Okay, novel analysis. I'd like to remind you to subscribe and like, share, and comment below this video so as to get different information about the analysis of the novel, play, poems, and short stories from my YouTube channel, Teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige, the Manju of Literature and the Young African Writers from Queen of Peace Girls Secondary School, Zega, Tabora, Tanzania, Africa. Thank you for listening to me. Goodbye.